Alright, people. She is getting torn down. As you can see, engine is gone. Is on its way to Wade. SRE Customs should be back in about, I don't know. Probably take a few days to get there. He's in New York. I would expect it back in no more than 10 days from now, per se. It will be modified with his, I guess he calls it a bash mod. We will be throwing it back in. And I have a couple new pipes to try on it. And we have the Forever diff cups to replace these. There's nothing wrong with these. But as you guys already know, the Taylor 35 is going to be going in here soon. So these are going to need to be upgraded. The Mad Max heavy duty rear drive axles are okay, but we're going to put the Forever ones on and the outer cups. So theirs are coming. So we got some pipes coming, some more goodies coming. I dread taking this apart because I am working with a million diff fluid, which is not, it's like working with honey or tar actually. So I got to tear this completely apart, and I don't need to change the fluid, but I'm going to be having to add to it obviously when I take it apart and put the new cups in. So anyway, we got goodies coming. As you've seen, plenty of cash put aside from a lot of the overtime that I've been working. This is where it's going. We do have the upgrades, just so you guys know. I'm going to put the RC Max badass 5B chassis on here, and I'm going to put the diff cups and the diff casings, RC Max, and the shock towers, front and rear. So we're going to put another grand. Everybody thinks I'm crazy, but this will be a one-of-a-kind. Well, it already is, but we're definitely, with that upgrade, we're going to separate this 5B from any 5B that you'll ever see. In my opinion, once I get the new chassis put on here, the front and rear diff housings, shock towers, all RC Max, and inner diff cups, this thing will be the ultimate, baddest 5B ever. So now that'll put us over 5K that we'll be putting into this thing total. So she is my baby, baddest 5th scale built race kit ever. Highly recommend get one of these 5Bs. Oh, I do have a surprise 5th scale coming up in a few months, sooner than I planned. I already decided what I wanted. I'm going to go another whole other level. We're going to keep that as so-and-so will say, meow meow, in the bag. I told you guys I was getting another 5th scale. Some of you guys already have an idea because of what I said of the other 5th scale. And that still could happen, but I'm swaying pretty much towards something else that's just going to be completely different. As you guys know, the muggy, I don't like to go with the flow of what everybody else is doing. I like to do my own thing and completely separate myself from anybody. That's why I love about nitro builds, and I love about 5th scale builds. Especially when you're building race kits, you can personalize them to your own. One of a kind. Only you have one because you did all the upgrades to it your way. So anyway, that's just a little update. Stay tuned. We will be back in a minute. We got some serious goodies to unbox and some more updates. All right, stay tuned, people. Be right back. What up, Nitro Nation? Welcome all buggy maniacs, chuggy maniacs, muggy maniacs, fifth scale, insaniac brapheads, and, you know, the monster trucks. You know, people still messing with monster trucks, savages, you know, the headaches. Which reminds me, remember, I've got that tea bag that was donated to my channel, and I'm about to get that thing running and have some special plans for it. Okay, so anyway, what's happening, people? These are, reason I showed you these, I'm at the Peeps this weekend. I'm not sure when this video will download. Probably, you guys will probably be seeing this, I don't know, maybe this weekend, not sure. I've just been working so much. We got fifth scale stuff to talk about, nitro stuff. I'm going to try, don't quote me on this, but we're going to see if we can get some ripping with the beast over here, the 5 Beast. Matter of fact, hold on. I'm gonna show you something I did to this. Give me 1 second. Okay, where are we at? Anyway, this is one of my oldest daughter. She collects a lot of these. Let me turn this light off. It's causing kind of a glare. There we go. She collects these very expensive figures. She's into, you know, they're Japanese, some of them are games, some of them are, you know, anime and so forth. But these things are, she's as crazy about this stuff as I am about my nitro and I am about my fifth scale. So, and these things aren't cheap. These things get very expensive. Some of them are around or average around the price of like a high-end nitro engine. So anyway, she's taking, I said, God, I leave and she's utilizing this computer room. I mean, this is not my room. It's just an extra room in the house. It used to be a computer room. We don't even really use it for a computer room. My kids put their stuff in here. When I come out to the Peeps to help out this weekend like I am, because the old man, as you guys know, in the past hasn't been doing well. He was in the hospital for a while. I don't want to get it too personal, but he started, my own, you know, the old man started dialysis. He's not reacting to it very well, so he had some issues. But anyway, out here helping out because family is always first. Okay? God first, then family, friends, then me. It's not about me, it's about others. But anyway, so I leave and I cut back and kids are taking over the room. I'm like, hey, wait a minute, you know, when I come out, I gotta have some brap space and some space for the nitros because, you know, I like to run out at the park, which we will be getting to. But anyway, so we're gonna talk a little bit about nitro, talk a little bit about fifth scale. We're gonna clear up some horrible. Oh my gosh, I don't want to try to turn this into a rant, but there is some things that need to be addressed because there's some BS going on out here. But anyway, speaking of nitro engines, we have an unboxing. Okay, I'm not going to unbox. These are the 10 modified engines that I've been talking about. Shout out, first of all, to Lance Heidman, RC Renew. I've got, this will be a total of around 20, I think. 17, yeah, around 20 something engines just from him that I've had modified. Okay, there's 10 badass engines in here. We're not going to do them all. I'm not going to unbox them all. Well, maybe, depending on how much time, I don't want to, this video will be another hour video. You know how I roll. But I want to try to get some kind of running footage into this video, but I'm not sure because there is something, a special piece in here that Lance hooked me up with that he wanted me to promote. We're going to try it out, see what it's all about. I'll explain in a few minutes as I do this unboxing and open them up. And I'll see if I can show you guys. There's really nothing to look at until I take the engines apart. But just, You know, he stamps all his engines, so you know they're modified. I don't pull no punches. I keep it real. I don't bullshit like a lot of people do. Excuse my language. I don't BS. I keep it 100. I don't need to fake, as one person used to say, fake the funk. There's a lot of people that fake the funk because they want to, you know, portray as they know all this and they're good. And am I saying that I know everything? I know nothing. I treat it as I'm a newbie every day, always learning something. And people say, well, you know, muggy this, muggy. Listen, again, I'll emphasize this. I get all of my information from people as far as professionals, say racing, Adam Drake, Mike Croddick, Ty Tessman, Jared Tebow, you know, Ryan Letts, guys that do videos, okay? Other side of that is, you know, as far as nitro goes, people like, you know, I've learned a lot, you know, even though we don't talk, and he doesn't really do much of anything, I learned a lot from Mr. Zott, learned a lot from Nitro Nerd, learned a lot from Lance. I learned a lot of things from Rick Break at RB Mods. Learned a little bit from, you know, the time that he was around RW Mods. God rest his soul. But anyway, you know, and as far as fifth scale, I get all my main information now. Chris Sampietro, aka 1/5 Garage, always looking out, always had my back, you know, always sending me, you know, texts and pictures of, because he knows I'm always looking for another, you know, he knows I'm looking for fifth scale, and I'm always interested in any, you know, anything nitro or gas, so he's always, you know, looking out for me. Sends me stuff all the time. We talk periodically. I know he's very busy with his family, his work and everything, but, you know, the main guys that I go through now in fifth scale, as far as I know they run all the time, and those are the guys, not to discredit anybody else, but those are the guys that I really look to because, you know, guys like Mike Taylor, you know, guys like John. I just started talking to John a while back. Elite RC is another guy that I go to, but mainly Elite RC, Jason, Jersey Jason, and also, you know, Dan at OBR, you know, I'd like to talk to Chris Bartolome, but he never returns calls, so he's notorious for that. But anyway, so we're going to run some fifth. What I wanted to show you real quick, we're going to run the 5 Beast. Yes, this thing is fully modified. Modified, the Signature Series, FYI, is the ultimate 34 reed case that OBR puts out. Okay, you can spend an extra $200, which is what I did, and go the upgrade. I got the modified crank. It's a CNC coated, or CNC, it's a DLC coated, CNC machined, lightweight modified crank. Okay, if you go into anything about rotating mass, it adds to the Signature Series. This has more of the porting than the other modified V2s and the other. Like I said, the Signature Series is their top of the line reed case engines. This thing is nasty. Tons of video on it. You guys know. I've geared this thing all the way up to, you know, on the pinion wise, all the way up to like I think a 24. Right now I'm running I think a 21, and I like the bottom and the mid. It has a race mod on it. So this is not a drag modded engine. Now, I've thought about it, and this might be in the future. I've been talking to Dan and Sean at OBR of getting another one like this built, but drag modded. So this thing is nasty. It'll be even nastier. But anyway, we got brand new paws on it. I call them paws. Some people call them feet, shoes, tie, whatever you want to call it. Brand new paws. I love these Mad Max giant grips. These are fresh. Threw them on the white dish silverback rims, which you can get. Look up silverback. They make a lot of different stuff, but the rims, they're coming from Great Britain. Takes a minute to get them, but these are probably the lightest and one of the most durable, strongest rims on the market. And I got them because they're dish. Like I said before, I don't really care for mags. But anyway, brand new Mad Max. I did the highlighting myself. These are as a special marker I showed you guys on one of my videos. that I bought. It's like $4 or $5. So it's not going to wear out as quick. Eventually it will, and you have to do it again. But so far on the other tires that I did on the King Motors Baja, I haven't had them the wear off yet. But anyway, we got brand new, fresh. See, can you see that? Brand new, fresh Mad Maxes with the white rims. I think it looks pretty sick like that. So anyway, all the talk, 34 Taylor, piston port, this, blah, 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 blah. Like I said, I talked to Mike, talked to John, the owner of Detroit Performance, which, if you don't know, he is the main distributor in the USA of all RC Max stuff. So if you want to know anything besides contacting Mike Taylor, I have him on my messenger, which I'm going to show you in a minute. Contact John, Detroit, great guy. He hooked me up. I'm going to share a little bit. I want to give him a huge, huge shout out to John at Detroit Performance for hooking me up like a tow truck. I just spent a grip of money, and he took a nice chunk and gave me a killer discount, man. I was totally shocked. I had no idea he was going to do this. He just told me, listen, I'm going to hook you up, special code, one-time thing. Made up a code for me. When I went to put in the code and I seen what he discounted me, I almost like crapped my pants. I was like, whoa, that's cool. So I got to give him a big shout out. Shout out also to Mike. Me and Mike have been talking, and I want to squash the rumor, which is what we're going to talk about before we get into the unboxing of these engines. Okay. There's a rumor. People contacted me. Hey, Muggy, did you hear about, before you order the Taylor 35, I heard they're coming out, Mike's going to be coming out with a modified cylinder head, or, and blah, 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 blah. And I'm like, oh, really? I didn't heard of that. Okay, well, let me research this. Let me contact Mike himself. So I hit up Mike, and I will show you. Sorry about that. A little glitch in the matrix. So anyway, as I was saying, so I hit up Mike, and here's the proof. Mike Taylor. This is his Facebook. I talked to him through Messenger. So the conversation went like this. It says, when I asked him, I said, hey, Mike. Let me pull it up. So you can read it right there. So I hear you're making a modded cylinder for the 35. So he said, morning, mate. Yes, there you go. Morning, mate. No idea where that was from, unless my video where I talked about it being upgradable in the future. Okay, that's all it says. Then he says, did you order your 35? I said, I'm ordering it today. Gonna talk to Mike, but guy named. So where was it? I said talk to John. And here. So anyway, he's real busy. So later he said, I believe you hooked up with John. He's your man. Laying heading down for now. Thank you. The modded cylinder thing is just hot air. So, there you go from Mike Taylor. There will be no modded cylinder head, no modded piston. I called and talked to John at Detroit Performance, and he told me that Mike talked about some bolt-on performance stuff in the future. Okay? Nothing about no cylinder head. They're not going to take the 30. They're not coming out with another 35 with a modded anything on it. The 35s now are basically what you want. So I'm glad I asked, because I thought about it too. I'm like, well, okay, well, that makes perfect sense. If he's going to come out with a modified cylinder head, then, or modified other engine that's modified, why get the one now? Of course. That's why I said, before I put this out, I got to make sure I hear it from Mike Taylor himself. And from his boy John, which John is the owner of Detroit Performance. John said the same thing. No, he goes, I know Mike plans on doing some bolt-ons to the Taylor 35 later in the future sometime. Who knows when. For now, this is what's going to be happening for the remainder, for a while. Okay, so if you haven't already got one of these, get one. So this is where I'm at. Just to show you, this is what I spent less than this. I spent a lot. But I just wanted to share with you guys, this stuff here I'm going to show you is what's coming. So not on this video, but on the next video, there will be an unboxing from Detroit Performance, Taylor RC, RC Max, whatever you want to call it, of the Taylor 35 I ordered with the 990 carb. Comes out to close to $1,000. Now you can just get it for whatever it is, 8 something, without a carburetor. But you're going to spend, if you want. And I also asked Mike, what carburetor do you recommend? Your modded 1107 or the 990 Rooster Tail, which is a full mod, well, pretty much a modified, somewhat modified 990. Mike told me I recommend the 990. That's what I would run. So I got that. I also got coming Taylor 55mm cooling clutch plate. Okay, that will also be with it. I also got a IRC brake caliper because the ones that come on the 5B Baja King motors suck. I also ordered a pipe, the Taylor pipe, and I spent a lot. Okay, I also have a Simon Blessed at Olamat building me a pipe for my Baja as we speak. So that should be here in a few weeks. He takes, a little bit less than a month. So I ordered the pipe, the Taylor pipe, Baja pipe. Also ordered the new, because he did change, the new Taylor pull start. This is a new one he changed. They did some stuff to it, but mainly they put a lot of small holes, drilled a ton of small holes in the mesh to help it. I also ordered a Taylor HD vented 54mm bell carrier. I've also already got a 10,000 clutch, which will be running in it. I asked John at Detroit Performance, what do you recommend as far as they'll hold up pretty well? Shouldn't have any issues. He recommended these Fast Lane. I guess they're called For Life or Forever, whatever, Fast Lane. Machine Super Duty drive shafts. And we are going to experiment. I'm going to run the gearing that I ran the last time with the 30.5. I'm going to run the 1955. But I asked, again, Mike and John, what do you recommend gearing on that 35? He said I'd run a 2054. So we ordered the Blackbone 2054. And I also ordered the spare carrier. So I spent close to $2,000. I don't want to say that too loud. And my mom will freak out on me. But anyway, and I just spent over $1,000 on these engines. So give me a second. I'm going to get this box over here and we're going to unbox some next level nitro engines. So yeah, that just goes to show you. Don't believe what you hear. Make sure the source is reputable. I just showed you proof. This is what Mike Taylor said. So if you want to believe whoever this person, well, he knows who he is. And I'm not going to mention his name. He knows who he is. And it's funny because this guy sits there and just lies out the side of his neck. And it's cool with people. And I tell other people, how do you even associate with this guy? You are co-signing his bullshit. Excuse my language. Because it's what it is. Oh, yeah, man, and the Taylor 35 this, and it spanks the OBR 34, and there's proof. I looked all over YouTube. Somebody sent me a link where there's somebody with identical setup racing a 34 signature like mine, fully modded, okay, cranking everything, against a 35 Taylor, and the Taylor spanking its ass. I haven't seen it, but guess what? Since I have the Taylor coming, we will be seeing. And I told John, and I've told a few people, even I asked Wade, again, shout out to Wade at SRE Customs. If you guys want to go hit up his video, he shows the beginning of the modding of the King Motors 30.5. That's my engine. He showed the first cutting of it. Now he's going to do a reed cylinder head on it, from what he told me. He's going to make it nasty, so we're going to hopefully have a pretty nasty 30.5. We will run that first, like I said, when I get it back in the King Motor Baja. Okay. And by that time, maybe on that engine, we'll try the Taylor pipe or the Olamat if I get it by then. But anyway, I asked Wade. Wade says, in my opinion, and this guy, Wade is a modder. He's an engine builder. He said, in my opinion, the best small bore engine builders out there are OBR. That's coming from Wade at SRE Customs. So there you go. And there's other people you can ask too. Am I saying that the 35 Taylor isn't going to be badass? Yeah. I want to see what it does against this. We will run it in the 5B. We will run it in the Baja. And we will compare. We will compare the 34 Signature Series full mod, crank mod and all, against the Taylor. It's basically a top quality 35 piston port. Like me and Wade talked about, millions and billions of dollars of research and development went into Kawasaki, Yamaha, Honda, KTM. They're running reed case engines for a reason. Why do you think Mike Taylor's big bores are reed case? They're not pistons. If he thought that piston power was more than reed, his big bores would not be reed case engines. They would be piston ports, and they're not. Okay, and again, this person just sits there and yaps his gums about and just lies. It cracks me up, and I don't want to turn this video into a rant, but I do want to clear the air on it, just like I told you before. Olamat, Mike Taylor's pipes, none of his pipes are made by Olamat. There was another person out there that put out that information. Mike laughed. He was like, who said that? I didn't tell him who, but he's like, really? He's all, Simon Bless, the owner and maker of Olamat Pipes, does not make pipes for Mike Taylor. So, again. So, anyway, one more time, the Taylor 35 will not be offered a modified cylinder head. Okay, anytime soon. There is no upgraded modified head or other engine than the Taylor 535 that's out now. Okay? So get yours. I don't care who's running, who's going to be doing. And instead of this person just saying, listen, it's not in the budget right now because I got too much money going into whatever else he's got going on. We'll get that engine later. He makes some BS excuse why he didn't get it. Okay? Which is stupid. And I told Mike and John the same thing. It's like, that's dumb because that he's defeating Mike's purpose, which is to push those 35s. Okay? So if you want to go ahead and wait till he comes, you're going to be waiting a long time because there's no mod cylinder head coming out for those. So I've got mine, should be here sometime next week. I know other people have got theirs, but I guarantee you I will be probably the only one on YouTube that will run it against an engine like this because a lot of people either don't have these or don't do videos. I have the Signature Series 34 baddest, in my opinion, small bore made, okay? And we will compare it to the Taylor 35 because I will have both. The Taylor 35 ripping around in a Baja 2-wheel drive that weighs 10 pounds lighter than this isn't a test. The true test, and I've told other guys this, for the Taylor 35 is to put it in this 38-pound or 37-pound fat pig 4-wheel drive and see what it does. So anyway, we know this engine moves this thing no problem. You guys will see it. Hopefully I'll be able to get it on this video. At least 30 minutes worth of ripping. We are going to rip the Teckno with the modified RCR Reds R5R. This is one of my favorite engines, .21s, but we have some bad little mothers in there, and we're going to take a look at those. Again, I'm not going to unbox. We're going to unbox them, but we're not going to look really get inside, and I want to pull all those engines apart because I check all my engines. There's a lot of them to check. The only ones we're going to focus on is we're going to focus on 2 of them in there and a new product that Lance wanted me to promote and hook me up with, that we're going to check it out and see actually what it does. And I'll explain more to that. So let me get into this, get it set up, probably at least cut it so I can pull it open because I got to do this one-handed. Give me a minute. But anyway, we will be ripping this badass, and you will see, and then we will rip the 35 Taylor, and we will rip the modded 30.5, okay, and we'll compare all these engines, okay, but don't try to tell me that a piston port, I don't care what it is going to spank the ass of a reed case engine. It ain't happening. Am I saying that the Taylor 35 isn't going to be nasty? By no means. I know it's going to be nasty. But it's designed, like Mike said, it perfectly will fit and designed for a 2-wheel drive Baja. So if you want to put it in one of these Fatsos, if you want to put it in a 5T, by all means go ahead. But it's not going to perform like it will in a Baja, a 2-wheel drive anyway. All right, so give me a minute. Give me 1 second. Okay, you ready? Drum roll. How do you do it? Oh, snaps. Look at that, people. 10 bad ass next level modified engines. Oh, snaps. He did hook me up. I didn't tell him for sure if I wanted this. So this is another thing we're experiments. These are the... a lot of guys have been asking me about this. So now we finally have one. This is called... Take a look at this. This is the double-barreled Venturi. It's more designed for racing, but we'll see what it does. It's basically a 2-slotted double-barreled Venturi. Okay. So anyway, he hooked me up with that. Awesome. I have to thank him. Shout out to Lance, man. He takes care of me, man. And he gave me a whole slew RC modified. Bam! Alright, so there's that. Now, let's pull these engines out. If you can get them out. He couldn't get them in the way I got them in. I got them all in there flat. But anyway, first one on the bill. Roma .25. Oh, snaps. Put that one over there. These are all drag modded. There's no race mod. There's no mellow, smooth, linear pop. These are all drag modded engines. Oh, snaps. This is the one that got autographed that I got hooked up with from Ryan Lutz. The Alpha .28. Bam. There's that one. What other one? Okay. There is the Reds. Which Reds is this? This is the Reds... R5R Team Edition. Okay, the red-headed one. These are the newer ones. Not new, but one of the last ones I made. There's that one. By the way, little party going on, celebrate. Rockstar Zero. We got the mango and guava. We're double dipping. Check this out. Zero, which means doesn't have any sugar or carbs. Mountain Dew Sparks. This is pretty bomb. Try it. If you like, I think it's raspberry lemonade. And then we have, oh, snaps. Which one is this? This would be, oh no, that's the Team Edition. Which one is this? Oh, this is oh, snaps. That's the 723, boys and girls. 723 drag modded reds. That's going to be a bad mother right there. That will definitely be a truggy engine. So this is the Team Edition right here. Okay, stack them right there. The next one is, and this is the other reds. And I know a lot of people are curious about this one, and me as well. This is a drag modded R5R 521. There you go, people. RC mod. Can't wait to take a look at that baby. That will be a nasty. You think the 521 stock is, you know, it's a good engine. Screams. Wait till we see that bad boy run. Next one is the one that Jeremy Quartz touched. Did some work too, but now it is fully modded. Fully modded Works B5. RCR mod, baby. You know the Wookster has one, and that's a badass engine, so I can't wait to run that one. Man, I need more platforms. We do have another nitro truggy coming soon, so stay tuned for that. What do we have here? Oh, snaps. We got the Pico drag modded V5 Team Edition. Okay, this has the DLC coated crank, the whole 9 yards, people. That would be a bad mother. And I think this one is autographed as well. I think because of Adam Drake motor bath this thing, so that's Adam's signature. So this one was motor. I have a few engines motor bath by Adam. So anyway, we'll hopefully, like I said, if we don't get running footage on this video, it will definitely be in the next one, but we're going to try. So, and then the other one, we have the renewed. Now, the first time he modded this, it just had a race mod on it. Now, this L5 V or L3 V2, okay, this has a full-blown drag mod on it. So the one you seen Mr. Nitro Mike running, that one is a race mod. Badass little engine. Now, we have a drag mod. Then, the two that we're going to talk about right now, and that we're going to pull apart and take a look at, are the, I believe one of these has what I'm talking about. This is the LRP .28 and the .30. So, which one is this one? This is the .28. RCR modded. Again, Woogie has this. You guys seen it? This is a nasty engine. This is the only engine that I have, one of the few engines that I have, breaking in bone stock. This thing stood my MBX Chuggy straight up in the air. Stock. Breaking it in, running rich as hell. Okay, so I can only imagine what this thing is going to be like now that it's modded. Okay, so we're going to take a closer look at that one. And we are also going to take a close look at this special one. So this is what we have. These are the RCR modded backplates. So these are designed especially for the 32s, LRPs, and the .30, which this is an engine that I haven't seen anybody run, okay, and definitely not one of this caliber. Because, again, it's drag modded by Lance at RCR. Modified, drag modded LRP ZR .30. Now, from what I've heard in the past, by reputable people, this engine is even badasser than the 28 and the 32. Okay? 32 still has the top end, but bottom and mid, even Lance told me, of all three of these engines, the LRP 28, the LRP .30, and the LRP .32, the .32, 30 is probably the baddest, plus the quality is way better. The carburetor was okay, but I think we're going to run a, if we can't get the tune dialed on it, I don't remember how it was when we broke it in, we are definitely going to put an over OC carburetor on it. So anyway, these are only made for the .30s and the .32s. So I could run this on this engine and my .32, which I might try on the 32 and see what it does. So anyway, give me a second. I want to take a real close look at that and possibly pull one of these engines apart. Give me 1 second.
12%, and I get no interest for 6 months, so I'm going to try to pay off the rest of it.
Alright, people, we are back. So, hold on. As you can see, we have the .28 and the .30 modified LRP, RCR modded LRP. There's Lance's tattoos he puts, RCR mod, that's the 28. The 30 head is, when you compare them, 28's obviously lower. Both cool, kind of in their own ways. You know, not real fancy, plain. Now remember, these engines are polished, glorified, especially now that they're modified, turds. These aren't engines that are made of the... This is, in my opinion, it's my opinion, I'm entitled to that. And based on my experience of LRPs, I have 4 of them. 2 of these, 28, 30. I'd like to get a couple more of these. These are actually the better engines, believe it or not, than the 32s. But they're the metals. It's Taiwan. This is Taiwan monkey metal. Okay. Now I'm surprised. I thought that I put ceramic bearings. Maybe I didn't. I thought I could have swore I put ceramic. Maybe I didn't. I think I have them somewhere. So these are steel bearings in here right now. We are going to change these out. I want ceramic bearings in both of these LRPs. Okay. I think this one might... Is this one ceramic? I can't tell with the light. No, these are steel. Yeah. So we're going to change these out. We're going to throw ceramic bearings in both of these engines before I run them. Or break them in. Good thing about modified engines that have already been broken in like these, and the reason that I like doing it, one, I can tell you the difference, and I have it on video, between a modified LRP .28 and a stock LRP .28. A modified LRP .32 and a stock. All these engines that I have in here, all these I ran stock. Now we will run a mod, and I have it all on video. So you will see the difference. So anyway, to get back to these LRPs, the 28 has the only carburetor of all the LRPs, big blocks anyway, that this carburetor is easy to tune. It stays tuned. It's dialed. Okay? This is the old X-Techs before they changed them. There's no middle needle. It's a completely different design. If you look, this is the X-Tech. Now, even the new ones, the only difference between the new LRPs that they just came out with is they have a mid needle, which sucks nuts. The mid needles are no bueno. Good for racing, but bashing, you don't use them. If you don't know anything about them, even Lance told me, if you don't know anything about mid needles, don't touch them, because if you start messing with them, you will jack everything up, and they're almost impossible to get back to factory tune or regular. So anyway, this is the X-Tech carburetor. Sucks balls. The new carburetor, the same exact carburetor, just has a mid needle. Now, if that makes it better, if that's why they're saying that it's supposed to be better because of that, I don't know. So what they should have done is to get this carburetor and put it on the new LRP 32. I don't think this one fits. I think I tried. It doesn't fit. A lot of stuff on the LRP 30s and the 32s fit. Okay, 28s don't. You can't. This backplate is only this backplate. I just tried it right now. This modified backplate for the LRP 30 and 32 does not fit. Now, what Lance told me, this will give you a little bit more top end. Okay, performance-wise, and it'll make your engine idle better. So RCR mods. Okay, these are about $49.99. But I didn't pay that. So anyway, Lance hooked me up. So let's take a look at these. So obviously we look at the 28 first cylinder. I mean the cooling head. Yeah, not much. Okay, carburetor. We looked at that. This is the best carburetor that LRP made. Okay, I wish it fit on the 32, and I wish it fit on the 30. So here's the block. Okay, we're going to change out all those bearings and put ceramics. Okay. You can look in there so you can see where Lance has done some... Come on, you sucker. Focus. You can see where that's been milled out inside of there. Okay. Here's the piston. Now I did notice, I don't know if he did on this one, he looks like he channeled that out right there. where the oil drips down the crank into that little opening in the where the connecting rod connects. And I know he does milling to the inside of the piston. 75% of your modification as far as power increase is in the piston and in the crank. Sleeve, minimal. So I know he does some milling of these I think these are blow-by ports. Correct me if I'm wrong. Got a couple extra connecting rods coming for these engines too. It's what you definitely want for these engines. Here's the button head. Nothing fancy going on there. Here is the sleeve. Exhaust port. A little bit done there. A little bit there. Lance he's not a heavy fang guy on, because this is not where a lot of the performance comes. So he does a little bit. Not a lot. Nothing fancy. I know he usually makes the exhaust ports pretty big. Here is the crank. This is where a lot of the stuff is done. You can see those have been cut. Okay, you can see that cut. Nothing over there. Nothing in the front. Mostly just that right there. Okay, and then the crank timing window. This is where he does his magic, I say. Nice silicone crank fill. Looking pretty good. So, there you go. There's the LRP 28. Now, junk. Head we already looked at. Nah, nothing fancy. A little bit taller than the 28. Here's the block. You can see where he's done some machine work inside of there. Obviously you can see, can you see that? That's not stock. That's milled out. The exhaust port on the block. Can you guys see that? Okay. I like these 30 blocks. I mean, obviously you can see the difference in size from the 28. Here, look at the 28. And look, that's a 30, and look at the 28. Looks like a pea shooter compared to the 30 and the 32. Remember, but these 28s, I have yet to run it, so we'll see, but I've seen them, they're badass. Here's his, these things are really oily with machine oil, which is a good sign. Lance ain't messing around. So yeah, I could have swore I put ceramics in these engines. I guess I have the bearings, I just never put them in yet. I didn't feel like tearing them apart. So anyway, these will have ceramic bearings. So that's that, the block. Here is the backplate modified that's going to go on there. You can see where it's got those holes. The side. Here's the stock one. Here's the stock button head. Nothing fancy. Here's the piston. Now look at the size difference in the piston. That's a 32, right? This is the 28. Look at the difference. Not too much. There is a difference though. So there is your .30. There's no lapping done on these. Not all engines need lapping. Again, you can see where that is. Look at that. That has definitely been modded right there. See that opening? Right in here where the oil goes down. And this piston has definitely had work done. And so, like I said, Lance does most of his stuff to the piston and the crank, whereas where 75% of your performance is coming from. So there's the piston. Now the sleeve. Piece of hair on there. There's the shim. Gotta put that back on top. Get this dang hair. There's all these cats in this house. There's the exhaust port. Take a look at the rest of this. Transfer ports. A little bit done there. Now, see that in there, that jagged? I was told by him, Lance, like the 32s, you don't want to mess with that right there. Because what will happen if you try to grind that, that's the problem we had with the 32s, is the shitty porting. And what happens if you're modding them, from what Lance told me, if you try to mess with that right there, that edge where it's all jagged, you risk chipping off the aluminum inside, and that would be no bueno. So he doesn't touch that, just kind of leaves it. So I hit him up about it. He said, yep, you don't want to mess with that shit. So on the new LRP 32s that they came out with, that's what you're going to look for. You're going to look for that shit deburring that they didn't do. So there's the sleeve. Now here is the crank. Again, you can see the end. He really went to town on milling, cutting that. Look at that. Such a sexy looking crank. Grinded the side, nothing there, and a little bit there. See, this one he did cut into, unlike he did the 28 he did. So I have a feeling this 30, with the backplate and everything, this is going to be a nasty, nasty engine. So there's the crank fill. There's the timing cuts in it, as you can see, go down pretty good. Oh yeah, this has got some major meat. Yeah, it seems like out of these two engines, he put, I'm not saying he's, you know, favors each one. He did good work to them. Like I said, I don't know until I run them. I know what they were like stock though. And they were pretty badass, but these engines are going to be nasty. I'm going to need to pick up maybe 2 more truggies. I got a lot of big engines now. So anyway, there you go, people. That looks sick. Look at that. Hell yeah. Can't wait to run them. So there you go. There's the LRP 30, LRP 28, RCR modded. We'll see how this modified backplate goes. Possibly, I told him, he said he's going to hook me up with another one for my LRP 32. At least one of them. And there you go. I think, I don't know if we're going to be able to get any running in on this video. It might be on the next one. But we'll see. I guess if you see running footage on the end of this video, you'll just have to watch to the end of the video to see if there's any ripping in it. So, there you go. 2 down and 8 more to go. A lot of engines we gotta break in. But the cool thing about them, because they've already been broken in, is all I gotta do is idle a tank through them, and they're ready to rip. So, in this sexy beast, it's time to break in these fresh Mad Max tires. So, stay tuned, people. I can't wait for that 35 to come, and we will put it to the test. Yeah, not impressive in a 25-pound 2-wheel drive. Let's put it in a 38-pound 4-wheel drive and see what happens. See if it can push this pig around. Alright, people, that's all I got. Again, shout out to Lance at RC Renew. Thank you. We're gonna try also this here, the double barrel Venturi. I've got some more pipes coming. Believe it or not, I've got more nitro engines coming. I've already got 4 more that I picked out. We're gonna do a whole nother batch in a few months to get modified again, because stock engines do 0 for me. So anyway, that's all the Muggy's got. I don't think I missed anything. If I did, I'll put it in the video later. Again, man, if you've never ran a modified engine, I definitely recommend it. You will not be sorry. There's just nothing like it, man. And I also recommend getting an engine, breaking it in yourself, running it stock, seeing how it is stock, put it away, send it to Lance, preferably, and get it back, and man, you will not be satisfied. And that way you can appreciate the mod. Instead of just getting an engine and just never running it, never having any experience, don't know what it's like stock, and you just send it and get it mod. Run it stock, then get it mod. Just like we're doing with the 30.5 King motor. That engine is going to, it's at, Wade's already modding it. So we know what it was like stock. You guys have seen me run it on my last video, and now we're going to see when we get it back how it is modified. Alright people, that's all I got. I got to put these things back together. See you guys in a few. Peace. Well, there you go, people. The next level class, nitro class of 2022. There is some badderasser running footage coming. Great thing about all these, they've all been broken in, some of them bathed, and we idle a tank, maybe 2, through each engine, and then we just rip it. None of that long ass process. And we also know, because we have it on video, not just because I said it, we have it on video of every one of these engines running, screaming, 8 second, 9 second, whatever, bone stock. Now, we're going to give it the test again, the old Muggy QC test, and rip these things and see what they got. LRP 30 is probably, out of all these, yeah, because, I mean, I don't know, the 723 and the .25, quality-wise, obviously head and shoulders above the LRPs. Monkey, Taiwan metal, polished turd, but it is a badass. They do haul ass, they do have plenty of power, just no longevity, and no quality. That's missing completely. But anyway, class of 2022, next level nitro engines. We've opened those 2 already. Next up, I'm not sure. Probably going to open up a couple reds, maybe all 3 reds. 521, R5R Team Edition, 723, Scooterua. Or we might open up these 3 here. I don't know. I don't know if I'm going to do 2, 3 at a time. Definitely going to open up the Alpha. See what it looks like inside now. That's the one that this thing has to do a lot to impress me. Because I wasn't impressed when it was stock. But anyway, all these engines on the next few videos we'll pick a couple to open up and check out the internals and see RC Renew's awesome work that he does, man. Lance, head and shoulders above anybody. Some people say, oh, well, Lance isn't the end all. I told Lance that. He says, you know what? I am. I am the end all of all nitro modding. Okay? So he said, I'm pretty confident in that. And I would have to agree, because I've ran a few modders. He is the one. The chosen one, or whatever. Again, the one that has the best, most solid Legit resume. And I know his work. Got 20 of them. So anyway, looking forward to that. If you think for 1 second that $125 investment in one of these engines, especially some of these that are not that expensive, okay, is not worth the gain of 3,000 to 4,000 RPMs on the dyno. If you want to go check out his website, check out his stuff. He has dyno sheets. He has all the specs of it, okay? 21s, 3,000, 28s, 30s, 25s, 32s, not sure about a 23. Solid 4,000 RPM increase in performance. That is enough for me to pay 100, 125, whatever it is. Okay, if you don't think that, okay, that paying that much translates into that much more RPMs and power and performance, then you obviously don't know what the hell you're talking about. You need to go do your homework. Okay, you need to get some modded engines, some engines, stock engines, or actually you need to get stock engines, run them stock, rip them, film them on video, get them back after you mod them, wherever you get them mod from, preferably Lancet RC Renew, then run it again like we are going to do, and you will know the difference. I know the difference, so people can't tell me otherwise. You know, a lot of people like to run their gums and say, oh yeah, we never run anything but modified, yet they don't own any modified. If you don't own what you're trying to talk about, it's how did Mike Taylor say? It's rubbish. All a bunch of rubbish. Okay, so anyway, there you go. Catch you guys on the next video. Definitely, if not on this one, the next one, there will be ripping footage. 5 Beast is going to get busy, okay? And this badass is still one of the, if not the baddest, .21 that I've ran so far that I own. The R5R. But there's a lot of other ones in here that maybe have something to say about that. Especially that one. I don't know, that one. I don't know. Anyway, catch you guys on the next video. Muggy's out. Again, class of 2022, next level, nitro modified engine. Shout out to Lance, RC Renew. Awesome guy. Highly recommend him. Have any questions, hit him up, call him. If you guys need his contact information, let me know. Alright, Muggy's out. Peace. Bam. That's where you got it. Instead of one, just all of them. Bam. Bam.